Joining us now is Ojy Okpe, with stories trending around the world. Hello, Ojy.
Good morning, Ojy.
My name. We can't do the high five, sorry. How are you?
I'm good.
Perfect.
Good morning, Ojy.
Good
How
morning,
are you?
Leila. I love your black.
Thank you. I love your skirt today.
Thank you. I've been getting a lot of compliments
Well,
on it.
you guys, you had a dress code communication, right? And
Something
you left
like
me out
that.
of
We
it.
did. But you're navy blue. You look dapper. Well, good morning to you, viewers. We begin what's trending today in Nigeria. On Monday, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 announced that bodies of persons who died of coronavirus were not contagious. The national coordinator of the task force, Dr. Sani Aliyu, stated this at a press briefing in Abuja. He further assured the public that according to WHO guidelines, except in cases of viral hemorrhagic, such as Ebola, fever, cholera, dead bodies were generally not infectious. Over the weekend, members of the task force who attended the crowded burial of the late presidential chief of staff, Abba Kyari, were heavily criticized for disregarding the NCDC's protocols for burial of COVID-19 victims. At the briefing, the national coordinator apologized on behalf of the task force and assured the public that the late Abba Kyari's corpse was properly prepared for burial according to the NCDC guidelines and the Islamic faith.
Defensive, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if it's defensive. I mean, he's quoting the WHO guidelines, whether or not the corpse were infectious or not. But there's arguments with that as well, because, you know, there's no...
scientific proof to show that the corpses are infected, which is what we just spoke about with Mr. Ifeni. However, caution should still be taken, seeing as we do not know the extent to which a COVID-19 patient that's passed away can have their corpse infecting other people. So, defensive, yes, it is, to come out with that statement shortly after a complete show of, you know,
disregard.
Look, we discussed this with Ifeni before you came, but
yes.
maybe we'll spend a little more time on it.
Yes.
The national coordinator of the Presidential Task Force is not telling the full story. It is true that WHO says cadavers do not necessarily transmit disease.
Yes.
And that with regard to COVID-19, what you have to worry about is the lungs of the affected person, which looks like the main location of the infection. But that even when you have a COVID-19 barrier, first, the dignity of the dead must be respected.
Yes.
That's one. Two, all persons involved, from the mortuary to the burial site, must ensure that, you know, they follow basic precautions. Hand hygiene, the use of protective equipment, social distancing, physical distancing, and then more importantly, WHO says you have to make sure that no fluids escape from the corpse that people can necessarily have contact with. And you see that in the case of Malam Abba Kyari, some Nigerians have said they looked at the coffin, they saw blood on the inside the coffin. Now, so they breached that.
It kind of looked like a shadow, though.
Going for that, WHO says that the body must also be properly wrapped.
Correct.
So if you look at the WHO guidelines and you benchmark it against what happened, not everybody was observing social distancing. Not everybody was taking necessary precautions. Even some of the people who handled the body, they were not wearing protective equipment. But now Sani Aliyu has apologized.
And there was one video of a guy that was taking off his protective equipment and we said, throwing it. I don't know if we have that video. This one guy, I mean, I don't understand. Who is it? Is he part of the task force? I mean,
well,
I don't
he was one of the persons that handled the corpse.
Like, I don't understand.
They've responded to that. They said they had sent a team to the cemetery to pick up all of these materials, and they've been burnt. You know, and that the place had been fumigated.
Yes.
And we saw evidence of fumigation. But the apology is inadequate. It doesn't go far enough because we're dealing with life and death, as you said earlier. And we hope that this will not happen again.
Yes.
You know, because of the risks involved.
Correct.
So the apology in itself is an admission of negligence.
Well, they did,
and an admission of guilt.
Absolutely.
So we'll leave it there.
All right. Well, still in Nigeria, Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has come under fire for saying there has not been any testing conducted for COVID-19 in the state. When asked on live television how many tests the state had carried out, the governor said the state had launched an app. Let's take a listen.
So far, so good. We have launched an app. And if nobody show any sign or any cause for any test, we wouldn't go out and begin to catch any human being and say we want to test anybody, because there is enough and adequate sensitization of our citizens. So far, we don't have any test center here, but there is in Irua, there is in FCT. And if there's any, and we have test kits that we have on our own purchased, in the event there's any need for us to carry out to collect any sample. So if nobody come up with any issue and there's no any reported case, what are we going to collect to send to any of these test centers? So far, so good. I think our sensitization program is working excellently well. Our people are following our instructions, and we're very good for it, yeah.
He sounds like he really and truly lacks a lot of ability to think critically. Look at a case like Lagos, whereby we launched a house-to-house search when we realized that we were not actually reaching our testing capacity simply because not enough citizens were coming forward. You do not go and nationally broadcast or state broadcast to suggest that you have not tested because no one needs to be tested. Think about interventions and initiatives that can allow you to actually know your figures. It's called critical thinking.
And does he realize that there are some people that are asymptomatic? I mean, what is he talking about?
But I'm not surprised because he has come
He doesn't want to go around and pick people that are not showing symptoms.
Well, unfortunately, the governor of Kogi State, Governor Yahaya Bello, is the youngest governor in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But he has proven to be one of the least effective.
Yeah.
And I don't think youthful exuberance should be a qualification for the position of governor.
He's not a
Because we have seen many of these young men who become governors, and they think youthful exuberance is all it takes, But that's one point. But apart from your criticism of his saying they have an app, now that app, I think you will need to explain more to us, to the public.
Bert, I think it's something that has to do with educating the people in the state.
How it works. Do the rural people of Kogi State, do they have access to that app? Do they understand what an app is all about? So if he thinks that having an app addresses the COVID-19 pandemic, then he may be holding the short end of the stick in that regard. Secondly, he talks about sensitization. Well, that's good. We can commend him for that. If indeed in Kogi State a lot is being done with regard to sensitization. 3, it is important that he should not be in denial. We have seen the case of Abia State, where the governor said, Abia is mentioned in the Bible. And because Abia is the only state in Nigeria that features in the Bible, there will not be problem. There will be no problem with Abia State. Now, he should not fall into that kind of trap and say an app will save Kogi State because now Abia has an index case. So these governors should talk to the scientists, that are available to them, and they should be reminded of the fact that the CEO of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and the Minister of Health have had cause to warn that state governors should be careful about the kind of statements that they make so that they don't mislead people, so that they don't cause confusion among the populace. And I would like to recommend the examples of Oyetola of Osun State and Sanwo-Olu of Lagos.
Correct.
Yes, they address the people on a regular basis, but they leave the science to the scientists.
Exactly.
They leave the treatment protocols to those who are experts.
Yes.
Now, if we get to a situation whereby all kinds of characters will start making scientific pronouncements, even when they stopped practicing science a long time ago, then we'll be in very serious trouble. It's not a matter of what certificate you hold. You hold. It is a question of what is on the table right now.
Correct.
And public health and safety.
And prevention being better than cure.
Very well. A video of female Nigerian Immigration Service officers participating in a viral makeover challenge called the Bop Daddy Challenge has resulted to a query and a threat of dismissal from the organization. According to the Assistant Controller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Ayam Herliru, the video of the women revealed a rather disturbing and embarrassing display of indecent flaunting of their bodies, desecration of service uniform, beret, and the use of inappropriate language, thereby sabotaging the values upheld by the service. Let's take a quick look at the video.
Yeah, comment tu t'appelles? Chez you the fier, et le magie. Daddy go spend, yeah, the swag and a rare. Bosco la paix, my low attempted, yo. Say, what's my name? Bop Daddy. Big tunes, got the club banging. Less man, more baddies. What's that? It's a drop top caddy. What's my name? Bob Daddy. Big tunes, got the clock banging. Less man, more baddies. What's that? It's a drop top caddy. Hey, Bob Daddy, 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 Bob Daddy. Yeah, shit you like Okocha. I get skills you go like on cover. Biggie man, we be life supporter. But not the type with the type computer. Don't type computer. Neck froze, hammer time.
I must say that I was extremely disappointed when I heard about this. 2 words I would use to describe it as sexist and misogynistic. Doctor, how about you?
Yeah, well, I hope that the immigration service will not make the mistake of sacking those girls.
I hope not.
You know,
yes.
Because they are threatening them.
They are.
And I think that the position of the immigration service is wrong. If anything, they were even promoting the Nigeria Immigration Service.
Thank you.
And I hope the Controller General will listen to public reaction to this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.